Do you guys remember my neighbor's cat? Look who's back. He's been coming and saying hi again. He doesn't like to be picked up though, but he comes almost every day. Everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my April TBR. I am so excited because April is, first off, my birthday month. Happy birthday to me. Second of all, I have been reading so many books in March. There's like 1 week left, but I have been reading pretty much as many books in 1 month than I have in the last 2 months. Like, I've been reading nonstop. No more reading slumps. I'm super happy. So my TBR is very, very excessive, but it's okay. We're just gonna jump into the whole enthusiast thing and just go for it. Let's start with the 2 books from the Reading Book Club on Patreon. First off is going to be Lights of Uncommon Stars, which was part of the Goodreads Choice Award of 2021 in the adult sci-fi section. And it's been compared a little bit to Becky Chambers, who's one of my favorite authors like ever. So right there, I was sold. Hopefully it is similar. People are saying it's a little weird and a little bit like spaceship, queer aliens. I will be reading it and hopefully we'll all be enjoying it. It is the one that you guys wanted. It was pretty tight, but it's the one that won. So that's the one we will be reading in April. Also, reminder that for the classic book club, it's every 2 months. So March, April, we're reading The Tenet of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I haven't started it yet as I'm filming this, but there's like a week left, so I think I'm gonna have time to start it. It's like my next physical book. So we'll be finishing it before the end of April easily, but yes, it's our next classic. And this one has been told, I've been told it's like a bit more like feminist kind of classic because you're following a married woman who escapes her husband and he's like abusive. So pretty feminist for the time. Looking forward to reading that one. Too many piles of books around me. So every month I like to give myself little reading challenges, and for April I'm going to be reading popular books by popular authors. Basically, I pick authors that I've never read anything by, and then I read their 2 most popular books, and then I decide how I feel about the author and if I want to continue reading them, their books or not. And it's my first time doing it in April, but I have a list of authors I'm looking forward to doing that for. And the first one is going to be Arlen Coben. So he writes, I believe, murder mysteries, which I like to go into those pretty blind. But I had been recommended a TV show on Netflix by him. That's when I realized, oh, he has books. Let me read the books first. And I believe actually these 2 have like a movie and a TV show. So I might attempt to watch those after I finish the book to compare and let you know how I feel about them. But the first one, his most popular work is Tell No One, which I believe it's a couple that goes all the time to, like every year, to this specific lake, and then one day the woman is kidnapped and murdered, and then the husband is left for dead, and then you're just following the story. That's all I want to know. So I will be reading this and hopefully watching the movie. And then the next one, my edition actually mentions that it's coming soon to Netflix, which I think it's already on Netflix, but The Woods, a little similarly, I think it's a couple that disappears in the forest, and then her brother, years later, is still, looking for answers. So again, I will be reading this and maybe attempting to watch the TV show also. I'll let you know how it goes, but he's a very popular author, and I feel like every time I would go like used book shopping, I would see his books there, but I just never really, like when you don't know what they're about, it's hard to just decide, oh yeah, I'm going to read all of his works. So let's attempt his 2 most popular book, and if I like them, then I will be reading the rest. Also, one of my big challenges for this year is to finish series, which I'm terrible. So far this year, I finished 0, and I've started a few, including actually the Xenogenesis series by Octavia E. Butler. I have read the second one, which I'll talk in the wrap-up at the end of the month, but I'm a go. The last book in the trilogy will be read in April. I am devouring this series. It's an adult sci-fi, but it's very character-driven, and it's not really like pew-pew kind of alien, like action-driven. It definitely makes you think a lot, and it's kind of horrifying. But I feel like she has such great ideas of how it could be if we were to have like first contact with aliens, and she's using that topic to discuss gender, sexuality, and it's just really, really interesting. I have no idea where the story is going in the last book. No idea how it's going to end, but I'm looking forward to it. I have been missing Brandon Sanderson. I'm trying to read this before I continue the Stormlight Archive series. I haven't started it. I thought I would have time in March, but it's not gonna happen. But April, birthday month, reading some Brandon Sanderson. Of course, that sounds great. Those are just like a bunch of short stories from the Cosmere, and it is the Arcanum Unbounded I need to read the short story again so I can continue reading the rest by him. And I don't know why I've been like being scared of it. I don't know. Pretty much every single book that I've read by him is a favorite book. So I don't know why I've been like pushing it back over and over again. But April. A little spoiler alert for this weekend for the reading vlog that's coming up. But I randomly picked up the Queen of the Tearling series. I don't know if it's the name of the series, but it's the name of the first book. And you know how with Booktube, you add so many books to your TBR, books you buy, and then you just kind of forget about them and you never got around to reading it. And this series has been on my shelves for like 5+ years, easily. I just completely forgot they existed. And it's an adult fantasy series that used to be really popular, but I just never got a chance to read them. So I'm enjoying it so much. I'm not done yet, but I'm enjoying it so much that book 2 is on my TBR for April. So, you know, little spoiler alert, but this is great. How did I never read this? It's really, really interesting. I feel like with my reading slump, I would just be like, okay, today, you know, at this hour is the time to read my book. And I just, not was dreading it, but I just wasn't super excited. But with this book, the first book in the series, I'm excited and I want to like find time to actually read it during my lunch or breakfast. So that's a really good sign. So I'm hoping to just continue. So maybe I can actually finish another series, which would be really great. Okay, the next one, I don't think I'm going to have time to read it, but you know what? We're just going to put it on my TBR anyway, because I really, really want to at least start it in April. To Paradise. I have been looking forward to reading more by the author, and I am very scared because first off, this is a heavy book. And I'm assuming it's going to be very, very heavy emotionally too. But I've been like seeing reviews that are hit and miss, and I'm trying to like not read any, but still super excited. And have you seen the spine? This is like one of the prettiest spine I've ever seen with the little bees. Like how gorgeous is this? I adore it. Once I'm done reading it, it's going to be in the rainbow shelf. Now, I have a few nonfiction because once again, it's a challenge for me this year, but I've just been trying to find really interesting nonfiction because I feel like some people are scared of nonfiction, and I wanted to do a like part 2 of like best nonfictions that I've read. So I wanted to try different things and find things that are less intimidating, and I just want to find new topic to explore. One that I wanted to read because it is so popular is Atomic Habits. And this is basically a nonfiction that you see on all lists, like best nonfiction of all time, things that will change your life, which I'm always a little skeptical of, but I've heard this is really good, so I'm hoping that it will change my life and help me have better habits. Which every time I talk about this book, I'm reminded that I started The Power of Habits and it got returned to library and I never finished it, and I'm like, maybe I do need more better habits. But yes, that's on my TBR. We'll be reading that in April. Ooh, I also have the arc for Book of Night by Holly Black. I read The Cruel Prince by her. It's a YA fantasy, and I wasn't super into it. I know there's a lot of hype behind it, but for me it was really unmemorable, so I never continued the series. But Book of Night is her first adult fantasy book, so I obviously want to give that a shot, see if that works better for me. Maybe it's just, you know, YA books aren't for me anymore. But hopefully the adult version will make me like her writing and her stories better. All I know is that it's about thieves and there's secret societies, which I'm obviously all about. So hopefully that goes well. This is coming out in May, I believe. A few from my library. The Disordered Cosmos, A Journey into Dark Matter, Space-Time, and Dreams Deferred. This is a nonfiction, the story of the author as a Black American woman trying to get her PhD in physics. And obviously, you know how sometimes in your second language, you're like, this is the right word, but I'm not pronouncing it properly. Where is it supposed to be focused on? Like what sound, what letter? Academia. But yes, I'm looking forward to reading that one because I realized that I have read a few books about physics and stuff, but I've never read from a Black woman. So why not read her story, trying to get her PhD, or getting her PhD, I should say. I believe she has it. Also, I have seen a few good reviews of Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, which is her memoir. And I saw that in my library. Sometimes you look up a book and you see it's available, so I just grabbed it. So I'm going to have to like go on walks or something to have time to go through all the audiobooks I have right now on my phone. Because like I didn't want to be on the waiting list from my other library, and I saw this one was available in that library, so I jumped on it. A little cray-cray with the audiobooks this month, but we're all for it. So the other ones. I'm going to have access to Islands of Abandonment nature rebounding in post-human landscapes. So basically, like the title says, places in the world that human abandoned and then nature is reclaiming it. And it looks really pretty. I have access to the audiobook. I'm hoping there's going to be like a PhD or something that I have access to pictures, because I might just Google them, worst case scenario. But the cover is so pretty. I just wanted to read something different about like ecology, because I feel like the only books that I've read on that topic, ecology topic, is like climate change, which is great but kind of dark. So I wanted something maybe a little bit more uplifting, interesting. Also, after being on my TBR for literally years, I don't know why my waiting list was so long at the library, but White Tears, Brown Scars, How White Feminism Betrays Women of Color. I've been trying to read more books about feminism focusing on intersectionality, and that one had great reviews, so looking forward to reading that one. And then last, and I believe not least, The Library, which is about how the history of libraries, and then, you know, how private collectors are like hiding their collection in the world that like is super digital now. So I'm really curious to hear what this one is going to be about, because it's pretty long. The audiobook is like 15 hours. So looking forward to reading all of these. So like you saw, very, very excessive TBR, and it might be more books because I'm currently reading some books, like finally got my hands on that one. And I don't know if I'm gonna have time to finish them, but probably, maybe. I have a week left. Hopeful, okay? I have been reading so much. I don't know why I'm speaking like that, but yes, I will be going back to reading as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section if you have read any of these, how you feel about them. Did you enjoy them? Which one should I like make sure to read in April? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a really great April. To my Aries. And yeah, thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out. And I will see you this weekend, next video.